Hey everybody, welcome back. pbgametime.com morning coffee for Thursday, May 16th, 2013. We should probably call this the pbgametime.com lunch hour or lunch break, because that's about the time that it gets to you guys on the interwebs, the various internets out there. But we've given you a couple things you need to know today for Palm Beach County sports. There's not a whole lot going on in high schools right now, as I mentioned yesterday. Jupiter Baseball is the only team that's left. They're going to play in the Class 8A state semifinals over in Fort Myers tomorrow. That's Friday, playing Altamont Springs Lake Brantley. So winner goes to the state championship game on Saturday. I'm going over there tomorrow morning to check everything out and give you guys some coverage on that. Jupiter's already over there. They've checked in their hotel. They're getting familiar with the area. But anyway, spring football tonight. It's Thursday. We have one game, the first spring football game of the 2013 spring session. It is Pompano Beach Highlands Christian at St. Andrews. That's at 6 p.m. So if you want to go check out some football, head on down to Boca Raton to St. Andrews. Two other things, all conference. The all conference teams were posted today on pbgametime.com. Those are teams that are selected by the coaches of the Palm Beach County Athletic Conference. We get questions about this every year because, kids graduate, so you have new kids coming into high schools, new parents coming into high schools, and thus new commenters on our website. And we have to explain each time that, every spring season, every fall season, every winter season, we have to explain that the Palm Beach County Athletic Conference, made up of the public schools in Palm Beach County, and Cardinal Newman, which is one of the traditional schools that's been around for years and years and years and years, and they're part of that conference. It does not include small schools like American Heritage, for example, private schools, things like that, like Benjamin and Kings. They're not going to be in this. So this is just for public schools. It's selected by the coaches. What we do at the Palm Beach Post is we put out an all-area section each year, but each season, each fall, winter, and spring sports season, recognizing the top teams, the top players, player of the year, coach of the year, that kind of stuff, first, second, and honorable mention teams for each sport in each season. That will be coming out Sunday, June 9th. That's 3 weeks from this Sunday. We're going to be putting out our special section, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. It's going to recognize the top athletes, top performers in each sport. So that's really about it for high schools right now. I can't think of anything else that I would want to tell you guys. So let's get right to the Twitter Q&A. Each day that we've been doing this, which today's the second day. So each day we're going to ask you guys on Twitter for your questions. And today, we tried to get you guys to get a little bit weird. Didn't get too weird, but we'll see how weird we can get. First question is kind of a big one. Palm Beach County has such a great history for football, and obviously it's such a great place for football talent. So Carl Bleich asks, best high school football player you've seen in your time working in South Florida. Now, I came here in May of 2009. I was a web producer for about a year before I started covering high school. So when I was a web producer, I was helping to build PB Game Time, all that stuff. Anyway, no one cares about your resume, Matt. So what I'm saying is I'd like to claim Matt Elam as having watched him and everything, but he was a little bit before my time, though I did, see some highlights and stuff, and I knew about him, obviously. If I had watched him, I'm sure he'd be the top one, but I really came on the next season. So I watched Jacoby Brissett, Nick O'Leary, Trey Mason, guys like that. Obviously Kelvin Taylor. And Will Likely, too. You have to throw him in the mix. I'd say it's a really tough question. I'd say overall, I'm going to have to give it to, it would be one of two. It would be either Nick O'Leary. Trey Mason was great, but Nick O'Leary or Jacoby Brissett. And Nick O'Leary was a natural athlete. He could do anything he wanted. There's Jack Nicklaus told a story one time about how he took Nick golfing. Jack Nicklaus, obviously the legendary golfer, is Nick O'Leary's grandfather. And he told him about how he took him golfing one time, and he shot a 77, which, if you're not familiar with golf, that's obviously a great score. I watched him drop kick a field goal once, 45 yards away, just turn, drop kick, boom, split the uprights. He could throw a 40-yard, pass, right on your hands. Great athlete. But as far as what he was able to do in games, I'm going to have to give it to Jacoby Brissett. He was probably Jeff Greer, my good friend Jeff Greer, liked to say at one time that he was the best when he was at Florida. He was the best college basketball player, the best wing player at the University of Florida. He's a great basketball player for Dwyer, but just on the football field could do anything. Great athlete, great talented athlete. So I would say Jacoby Brissett. So Croup Nasty 07 asks, has anyone ever told you that you have a face better suited for radio? Your mom is a... Sorry about that. He actually asks a follow-up question. I think he used one of these smiley emojis, I think you call them. He asks, is Southeast Florida, meaning Miami, Broward, and Palm Beach counties, the best baseball in the state? And then he asks to follow up, in the nation. Now, in the state, I mean, I think yes, just because you're talking about such a huge area. Dade is a giant county. Broward County is huge as well, and Palm Beach County. I mean, these are like the three of the top four counties in the state, I believe. So that's a huge area. I mean, three of the largest four counties in the state, I believe. So huge area. And if you look at the state finalists this year in baseball, Miami, there's a Miami team in every classification except for 5A and 1A, which is like the rural tiny towns. So there are obviously tons of talent, and you look at the major league rosters, you have guys from all over South Florida on major league rosters. So yeah, definitely the best baseball in the state. Now in the country, I think that it's going to be one of three states, Texas, California, or Florida. And it's just like, with football, these are giant states that, it's warm weather, you can play all year round. So yeah, there's going to be more talent that comes from these states. It's an interesting question. I don't know the answer to it. I feel like there are more draft picks, high major league draft picks that come out of California. But, I think, that's certainly something worth researching. Ted Hill, the great Ted Hill, Marlins fan, great guy to follow on Twitter if you don't follow him. He asks, what is your favorite cheese? This is an important question, and it's not something that I want to take lightly. I've been thinking about this, and now I'm not a cheese aficionado. I love cheese, but I'm not going to pretend that I know a double Gloucester versus another obscure French cheese. I like the basics more or less, maybe a little bit more than just your, I don't eat Kraft singles, but I love brie. Brie chicken and apple is like a taste that, on some crunchy French bread is like an unbelievable taste. But brie's not as versatile. Mozzarella will always have my heart because of, obviously, chicken parm is my favorite dish, I think, of all time, and obviously pizza is wonderful, plus string cheese. You can never go wrong there. Great cheese. But I think I'd have to give it to cheddar. I think because cheddar it's so versatile. It can go anywhere. You can eat it as a snack. You can have it on a burger. It's great on a burger. I'm just gonna have to go with cheddar. It's a full fat cheddar too. A low fat cheddar is fine, but yeah, I'm gonna have to go with cheddar. And this is an important one, so leave your comments and let me know what you guys think about this, because like I said, I don't want to trifle with this question. It's very important. Boobies and Stanton. Speaking of Marlins fans, the great Boobies and Stanton asks, yellow or golden mustard? Another important food question. I am not going to say, I'm going to say neither of those, although they're both wonderful and I love mustard. I'm going to have to go with Dijon mustard. And maybe that's what you meant. Maybe that's what he meant with golden mustard. I'm not sure, but just a Dijon, like a nice, like, tangy Dijon mustard. Really good. Great on turkey, great on other things. So really into that. Good question though. And then Croup Nasty with another one. Sorry to double up on him. Actually, this is the third question he's asked. So very active today. Thank you very much, Croup, for that. Asks, which one of you, meaning myself and Jeff, my good friend Jeff Greer, which one of you is more athletic? That's a tough one because as insanely competitive as I am, I'd like to say me, but I think overall I'm going to have to give it to Jeff based on pure athleticism. Now, but it does depend on which game you're talking about because, Jeff, he plays basketball all Saturday long, game after game after game, and, dominates there. He's playing with old guys, of course, but, a great basketball player. he had a better softball season than me last season in our the softball league we play together on Sundays. But I play hockey. That's my game, and he can't skate really, as far as, or at least I've never seen the evidence that he can. So if we're talking hockey, then I've got him there, and he can't golf to save his life. He tries, but I've got him there too. Some would argue that golf isn't a sport. I'd say it definitely is. I'd say you're stupid if you think that. But it does depend. There was one time that I beat him in a race, in a foot race. That was, I think, 2 years ago, and I think he's obviously much faster than me now. So yeah, congratulations to Jeff. He's definitely more athletic than me at this point. I'm going to go run wind sprints now to get out my frustration over being a mediocre athlete. So anyway, that's it for today, Thursday, May 16th, 2013, the morning coffee or lunch break, whatever you want to call it. pbgametime.com. Stick with us. See you later.